Hello everyone, it's Mr. E29, and I know that a lot of us talk about comics that we don't like, but today I'm going to talk about one that I do, one that I love immensely. Quantum and Woody. Uh, it is a Valiant Comics property created in the 1980s by Christopher Priest and M.D. Bright. Um, this is the world's worst superhero team, and that's not just because it's in the tagline. Quantum and Woody is a story about two childhood best friends who try to be superheroes but fail immensely. It starts off with them as children playing and hanging out in a treehouse. Eventually, they get broken up because Woody's mother divorces his dad, and Woody leaves with her. Eric, who is Quantum's real name, he hopes that Woody will try and reach out to him, try and stay in touch, but he doesn't. And, he thinks it's because he's black, but, that's really not it. Woody, just so we're clear, Woody is the white one. He actually has a terrible life because his mother starts dating a bunch of dirtbags, and she gets strung out on drugs. And they have no money, so they're living in crappy apartments. And at one point, Woody starts sleeping on the streets. Anyway, they're reunited when their fathers pass away in a lab accident. You find out that Eric went into the military. And he's kind of upset that Woody shows back up after all this time and not even bothering to stay in contact with him. But Woody is really kind of jaded at this point, so he really doesn't want to hear it. He just wants to get his inheritance and leave. But Eric believes that their fathers were killed, so they go to their lab to investigate. And while in the lab, they are cut up in an explosion because they're too busy arguing. They have on these bands. They have on these bands on their arm, and as they're fighting, they kind of clash them together. And right when that happens, the lab explodes, and they get caught up in this wave of energy that actually transmute their bodies into energy. And they have to bang their armbands together every 24 hours, otherwise the energy that's making up their bodies will dissipate. So from this, Eric gets the idea to be a superhero, and he takes the name Quantum. But all his ideas about being a superhero, they're just ridiculous. They go after the guy who they believe. So the guy that Eric believes killed his father, they go after him. The guy they go after for killing their dads, turns out he is a bad guy, but the bad things he do is completely unrelated to their father's death. And this keeps going on. They keep going off on these wild threads that turn out to be completely unrelated to anything. It's really a very funny book. I would highly recommend reading it. They relaunched it in, I think, 2017. But I recommend reading the 1980 version first. Spoiler warning, though. Not really spoiler warning, but a fair warning. This book can be really profane. There is liberal use of the N-word in this book. But that shouldn't stop you from reading it. It's a really good book. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and I recommend this book to everyone who would enjoy a good superhero parody comic. So anyway, yeah, this has been Mr. E29. Check out Contour and Woody. Share this video if you enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all later.